Welcome to the third video of the Programming in R series. In this video we will introduce vectors in R. And also the vectors topic will be separated into 5 videos. The first being Introduction to Vectors, the second one will be Vector Indices, the third one will be Modifying Vectors, fourth one will be Vector Filtering, and fifth one would be Vectorized Operations. The reason why I separated the videos into 5 parts was because if I put all the information in one single video, it would be a lot of information to process in just one video. And by having separate videos, it'll be much more easier to specialize in each topic of vector. So we will discuss how R stores information in vectors, the way in which operations are executed in vectorized form, and how to extract subsets of vectors. These are key to programming R. What is a vector? It is a one-dimensional collection of values that are stored in a variable. Each value in a vector is called an element. How do we create a vector? A common way to create a vector is to use the C function. It is used to combine values in a vector. The C function takes away any amount of arguments of the same type. So that means the arguments that are taken must be strings, 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 or numbers, 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 and so forth, and returns a vector that contains those elements. Write a vector with names and write a vector with numbers. That is our first task. So to create a vector, of course, we have to have a variable name. So we say some name, and we have to have an assignment operator. Then we can use the C function. We'll say John, Joe, Jean. Alright, we're going to run it and see that it works. Now, the variable sum names has a vector value of John, Joe, and Jane. Alright, second part of the task is to write a vector with numbers. Some numbers. We'll highlight it and run it. And we see that it's working. 1 through 5. Elements 1 to 5 are 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Great. What are other functions that can help us create vectors? The sequence function and colon operator will help us create vectors. The sequence function allows us to create 2 arguments and produce a vector of integers between them. An optional third argument specifies how many steps to skip. So let's check out our next task. Write a vector of numbers from 1 to 100 using the sequence function. Okay, so 1 to 100. And we highlight it and run it. And we see it. Wow, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth until 100. Write a vector of numbers from 1 to 20, counting by 2 using sequence. So as we notice back, sequence allows us a third optional argument, and this will help us specify how many steps to skip. So we'll write a vector using the third argument. So 1 to 20, and please go by 2's. Run. There it is. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. And then it says, write a vector number using the colon operator. So it could be any vector, it didn't specifies from one number to one number, but we can write one. Random colon vector, let's call it, and then we'll say, oh, we want this vector to go from 3 to 70, and we'll highlight it, we'll run it, and then we see here. And to double check, you can also just use print again. We highlight it and run it. We get the results. Great. Alright. Write a vector using character data using the length function and tell us how many elements there are. So we're going to write a vector using character data, which means we'll be using strings, but we're going to include the length function, and the length function will help us to know how many elements are in a vector. So let's say we'll write one called people, and we're going to put names again, such as Jane. Alright, we have our character data, and we're just going to run it, just double check if it's working. If it's blue, it's good. Alright, after that, we're going to see the length. I'm going to create a new variable called people length, and then we're going to see the length of our vector, so people, and we're just going to highlight it and run it. It's working, and we're going to print out how much elements are in the people vector. So print, it'll be print people length, of course, length, and this will give us a number 4. So there's 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just going to comment it here. Represent elements. Alright. Important. Once a vector is created, you are unable to change the number of elements in a vector. However, you can create a new vector by combining a new element with an existing vector. Give an example. Okay, so we'll use the C function to create a vector, and then we'll use the C function to combine the people vector and with a new name. So let's go here, and we'll say I'm just gonna copy this here and just paste it, and we're just going to eliminate all of this, and we're gonna say I create a new variable called more people, and we're just gonna create a vector, and we're gonna put the people vector in it, and then we're gonna add the new name. So let's say Bob. After that, we're gonna print out our new name. So we get Jane, John, Sarah, Jake, and Bob. Great. So that's important. Once a vector is created, we are unable to change the number of elements in a vector. You can create a new vector by combining a new element with an existing vector. So this is what happened. This was our old vector, the one we use in top, just copy and paste. I created a new vector by creating a variable. Our new vector is represented here, and our new name, and I just combined the old vector, which is people, into this one, and I printed the result of the new vector, which is here, more people. We get the result. Alright, so other notes. You may have noticed that the bracket 1 appears on the console. This tells us that the printed line started at element 1. A 4 usually means the same, so the element started at 4 and so forth. So if there's a bracket 20, the element started at element 20. This helps us read the console better to know where in the vector you're looking at. So we see here, oh, we see a 1, and we knew that the printed line started at element 1. Alright, and we can see our results here and see what's going on. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll see you in the next video called Vector Indices.